All right, market's opening, and we got a $3 sell-off right to start the morning. Okay. Really, really aggressive selling the first minute of the market. Market looks like it's about to continue to fall lower, especially now that we're holding below 716.50. If it can remain below 716.50 on the QQQ here, then the market has a lot more room to fall lower. And this should start the morning off with a nice sell-off sort of pullback situation. Very, very difficult to try to buy longs here right now. The market looks like it wants to drop a bit lower here. I'm in light June 16th puts, 714 QQQ puts. Wow. Wow. Solid pullback. This has more room to drop lower as long as it remains below 714.50 now. It should be remaining below 714.50. This should continue to drop very, very... it should continue to drop. There's still a lot of weakness. The SPY is holding below 738. This jumped very, very aggressively already in a very short period of time, unfortunately. Um, Needs to remain below 714.50. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just bought some more here. I just bought some more here at 820s, in the 820s. This should be a tight trade now. If this is going to hold here around 716.70, then we'll continue to hold. Mm-hmm. Should be good to go. Let's see if this trade works. If not, then that's completely fine. We have news at 10 a.m., which might be a big precursor of why the market is trying to show a direction heading into that news. We had a big pullback to start the morning and then a big reversal. So when we entered initially, the contract shot up very, very aggressively as we entered it. But now we're bouncing very, very aggressively. So that is completely okay. We're going to see if this plays out. If not, then let's see. We'll probably get a much better understanding of direction after. Okay, and there's a monster red candle. Holy shit. Holy shit. $5 red candle as we averaged in. So that worked out phenomenally. Obviously, there was a lot of weakness. So I leaned bearish for a reason. This was a big, big move lower. Clear as day. That's why I averaged in, because we saw the weakness. Easy money, right? Good trade. First YouTube live stream in how long? Welcome back. Easy money. Market is weak. That's why we went short. Good trade, right? If we remain below 713.50, this is going to capitulate. This is going to capitulate, boys. Lots of weakness. We're going to play this move to the downside, and then we're also going to catch the bottom, and we're going to go long, all right? Lots of movement, lots of trades to take so far. Movement is very, very good. Very, very good. Beautiful trade, right? The trade started going a bit opposite of our direction. We started bouncing a bit, but I still saw that there was... sorry, one second. Yeah, I still saw that there was still a lot of overall weakness. This is still not a long opportunity. I wouldn't really want to go long here. There's still some bearish momentum if we can remain below 714.50-ish. But after a big move like this, you should have sold the majority of your position. And now you're just holding on to a small runner position. UG Hamid trades as a transparent leader with exceptional foresight. Appreciate it. Thank you. Salam, brother. Squeamish. Jamal Bark, Cameron Bark, my brother. See, as long as it can remain below 714.60, then there's still a lot more room to drop lower on the QQQ here. And that should generally be the case. We should just continue to drop. Let's see. Why is SpaceX not moving? I'm not sure. $10 a.m. News. Lots of important things going on at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So let's see. Sully, Wong Salam, brother. How are you? We shorted this move really, really perfectly. We averaged in. Worked out really, really phenomenally. And now we're seeing new lows. Contracts are in the 1050s, 1060s. Everyone should be up over 20, 25%, especially if you averaged in. Should be good to go. This was a really, really solid, amazing trade. There's still a lot more weakness to go. SPY and QQQ are still holding below both of their major levels. We just need to remain below 713.70, 714-ish area. There's just too much bearish momentum as long as these resistance levels can hold. All right, so now as we're in a winning trade and as the market is moving in our direction, we want to maintain our contracts to remain profitable. So if we're short, we want to continue to hold on to shorts, but gradually lower where we want the market to bounce. So right here, right, we're at 713.50. We want the contracts and we want the QQQ to remain below 714.50. So if it breaks above 714.50, essentially, then we would sell our runner positions on our shorts. Does that make sense? Instead of holding for break even, instead of holding for a loss on a winning trade, we lower the stop loss to remain in profit. I'll eat my words. Great trade, brother. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Trade is a trade, man. Trade is a trade. Can't take things personal. We just have to make the best trading decision that we possibly can and move on. They're trying to paint the bullish picture. Down here, I still wouldn't want to go long. This is not really a good long opportunity, in my opinion. Even if we get like an aggressive buying price action here, this is not a healthy enough bottoming out situation. The only thing that could save this is like extreme aggressive buying pressure. And we don't trade based off of extreme, like we don't trade based off of these things. But overall, it should continue to drop. Everyone should have made tons of money on this as well. And let's see here. Amazon is still dropping. Okay, it's at 235. Damn. Let's see. We have major news at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So we might not get another big move until afterward. But overall, right now, my bias is essentially we went short at the top of this move. And now we're just holding on to runner positions. And I'm waiting for another low of day, essentially. We want the price to remain below 714.50 for the remaining position that we're holding. And if it breaks above that, then we will sell our shorts. But right now, the momentum still clearly looks quite bearish. Yeah, even if this bounces, I normally wouldn't try to go long on this sort of situation, even if it bounces. I'm completely fine with missing this bounce. We shorted the top. There's still a lot of bearish momentum still left. So I don't want to be early to longing. I still think there's more room to go lower. And it's better to miss out on money than it is to try to force a trade that you're not 100% on. Let's see. I know you want to buy Amazon. All right, let's check it out. Let's check out this dumpster fire. Amazon. I mean, damn. Are you in it already, Samek? Yes, very heavily. Damn. Okay. At what average? 240 on options? Like what expiration? Shares. 300 shares at 240? Um, hmm. I'm waiting for 230. I would rather wait for closer to 230, but this is definitely trying to hold the 200 simple moving average on the daily time frame, which is around 232, 233. All right, let's see how the Nasdaq responds here at 714.50. It should continue to drop lower. This is the major level. I don't believe this level gets taken out. And clear as day, bearish momentum. We failed exactly at the level that I was saying that we wanted to keep our runner position. So now, generally, right, we should continue to drop lower. I could be wrong, but things are playing out pretty perfectly for a move lower. If we were to bounce, I am completely fine with missing out on this bounce. Don't think that we do, but who knows? Nothing to really do. Now we just have to wait and let the market even itself out. See where it wants to go. News in 4 minutes. Yeah, I'm definitely, we're just gonna wait for news. I won't be taking a new trade until after news because at 10 a.m. once news is released, there can be a huge move in either direction. So it becomes a 50-50 trade. It's very risky. All right. Market is still showing weakness, but now we're about to get some news. Market bouncing. Market seems like it wants to bounce off of this news. Very interesting. From a technical standpoint, this would be a very aggressive buy. But post news, this is causing a bit of a bounce. We need to see if it can maintain above 716, then this can really, really fly higher. All right, now if the QQQ can remain above 716, then this is a really bullish situation, and it should travel and go higher into 717, 718. Let's see. 738 on the SPY is major resistance. So we're at that major resistance. The QQQ is perking up. Should be showing some strength. Should be bouncing a bit. A bit difficult to be shorting this strength, this bounce. We should be seeing 717.50 on the QQQ. This should be bouncing should continue to bounce. This is not a shorting opportunity just yet. So let's see. Nice and safe. $7.16 generally holds here on the QQQ, and we should be seeing $7.18 generally. There's 7.18 as expected. Still not a short. 717.50. Starting to slow it down a bit, but this is not bearish just yet. The momentum is still bullish. Buyers are still firmly in control. Okay, if they fail here at 717, then we could get a big pullback here. Let's see. We're starting to see some weakness here. Failing at 718. Essentially at my price target to the upside. We pulled back. And now if we can remain below 717, and also the SPY is showing resistance here at 739. Let's see. This would be a bit of an aggressive short. Still waiting. This should continue to bounce. Not really a good short just yet, as we're seeing. 718 again on the QQQ. Still room to go to 719.50. There she is. All right. So now that we hit these major levels of resistance, this is definitely absolutely not where you want to be bullish. Okay. So what we're going to do here is wait for a bit more of a move higher, most likely around this area or QQQ around 720, and then we're going to look for a short. Okay? Because the move lower occurred, the move higher occurred. So the market is moving very fluidly. So given the fluidity of the market, now we just need to see how this plays out. We don't want to be too early to the shorting party, but let's see here, okay? Market still has lots of room to go to the upside. We're holding above 719, 719.50-ish area. The SPY is holding above 740, so we need to see if these upper levels of resistance can now hold firmly as support for a small continued chug upwards. You'd still see clearly bullish momentum. We don't want to go short just yet. $7.20 here can act as resistance. This would be a very, very aggressive short, but this could be a quick scalp to the downside. The SPY is also holding 740.30 as resistance. All right, we're seeing the market top out a bit. Let's see if 719 can break as support. Looks like 719 is going to hold firmly as a level of resistance here for this move lower. The June 16th call puts are starting to look very enticing here. We're topping out. We hit major levels of resistance. Now we're simply going to see if this move lower continues. I do believe it should. This should generally see 717 break below 718. This is the main level. A break below 718. The main reason why I didn't enter short is because 718 is a very, very strong level of support. And the risk reward to the downside was not as prevalent, because if 718 still held as support, then we would bounce and make a new high. So I wasn't too fond of trying to enter aggressively short just yet. All right, so let's see how this plays out. It's bouncing off of 718, you know. SPY is bouncing off of 739. All right. So $1.50 bounce off of that 718 level. As expected a bit. If we can remain below 719.50, then this should break below 718. I still don't really want to go short, but this is setting up for a nice move lower. Everything is working out. On paper, it's doing exactly what it should be. We're bouncing back to the 50% fib, essentially. The 618% fib, which is around the 719.50 area. And this bounce and reshorting off of this bounce is the only way that 718 is going to break as support. So if there was a bearish move, it would have to be based off of this setup that they're trying to paint up here. Because if you guys are watching the 1 minute time frame, we bounced back to a major level of resistance. And now we're going to need to see if this can continue to hold, but no guarantees here. That's why I didn't really want to go short just yet. There's a bit of indecision in the market. Big bounce out of the market. Big reason why I did not want to go short. Still saw some underlying strength in the market. Needed to remain patient, not force anything. I didn't see a huge risk reward to the downside because we saw 718 support on the QQQ. And lo and behold, that's exactly where we ended up bouncing. So we're just trying to wait for the best possible trade, highest quality trade setup. As the QQQ can remain above 720, this is still, in the short term, this is bullish. And it should see 721.50-ish. So in the short term, there's still a bit more room higher. All right, I have my eyes on puts. We should be dropping pretty aggressively here. And we had a big aggressive move lower already. God damn, bro. Holy crap. We dropped $2.50 in a candle. Very spectacular. Awesome. Essentially, this should continue to drop lower now as we remain below 719.50-ish area on the QQQ. This is not bullish at all. It should continue to drop lower. Normally, this sort of setup should continue to drop, but after a big move lower, the issue is chasing, so you need to just enter with a very light position, and essentially hold 719.50-ish area. That's unfortunate, but these moves lower should occur, and they're just happening very quickly. That's the issue. Very similar to the first trade that we took. But the momentum is starting to shift bearish. It's very, very difficult to be bullish up here. Very difficult to be bullish up here, guys. We should see this firmly holding below 718 now, and this should be a pretty monster, amazing trade. As long as now QQQ remains below 718, which I do believe it should. We should show a lot of weakness. All right. Broke above 718.50. Now let's see if this can give a safer reshorting opportunity. Essentially, that's what it is painting. Bounce to the 50% fib, right? The 618% fib. And now we see if there's going to be a continued move lower. Normally we should. This generally is a very, very weak setup. We held 719, 719.50 as resistance as well. And we're pulling back. Holding below 718.50. Normally, this drops very aggressively lower. This bounce should not really be sustainable. We shouldn't see a new high of day until we break below. Normally, we should see a retest of 716. We should be making new lows here on the QQQ. This is the momentum is too bearish. Of course, you know, we could get a big rip, but from what we're seeing here, let's see. I would much rather be bearish up here than bullish. Market's really starting to chop around here. Bullish candle, bearish candle, bullish candle. $718. 50 is holding as support. They're really trying to hold 718.50 as support for a bounce. But, you know, we're right in the middle of a very tight range here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so essentially Marcus is chopping around, waiting for a re-short. Still looks quite weak here as it's holding below 719.50. This huge spike upwards that we just saw, it doesn't seem like it wants to sustain itself. Generally, we should be seeing a pretty decent pullback. 719.50 should be normally holding as resistance here. Normally, this is a really, really good short. The only issue is that we've had a lot of bullish momentum off of this bounce. But overall, 719.50 on the QQQ here should be holding as resistance, and it should be pulling back. See, as we get these big pullbacks to the downside, we get strong buying wicks right at support. So that's the only issue here. But other than that, this is setting up for clearly a very bearish move. This whole choppy situation that we had for the past half hour, we had a top, right? We had a top around 10:19 a.m., had a big pullback, and all of this chop has just been trading around the 50 or the 6.8% fib. So we're back below 718, and as we're trading below 718, this should normally just continue to drop lower. But once again, we're getting some buying pressure. But overall, it's still quite clearly a bearish setup. This is not where you want to go long. We're clearly getting a sell-off sort of setup. But But yeah, there's no guarantees. We just need to essentially see if 718 can continue to hold below. Once again, we're trading below 718 again. So as long as we can remain below 718, that is the main bull bear line for a continued move lower. SPY 740, QQQ 738. Sorry, QQQ 718, SPY 740. Really starting to crack lower here. SPY breaks below 739, then this is a goner. This is going to be a huge move lower. SPY below 739, QQQ now below 716.50. Had to be bearish up there. They were showing a lot of bearish setups, a lot of bearishness. Had to be bearish up there. Still a lot more room to go. This is not a bullish setup. You don't want to go long. This is still really bearish. There's a lot of bearish momentum still left. It would take the Hulk and Superman to buy this up and hold this here. Because normally we should be seeing 713, 714.50-ish. Off of a weak bearish setup like this, it would take a lot of bullish pressure to hold right here. And normally that doesn't really happen. We see 30 cents lower usually, but let's see. We should normally see 715 on the dot. We're hovering around 715.50. But let's see if things slow down. Be careful of trying to long this. This seems pretty weak still. Yeah. Yep. Wow. They tried to paint the bottom. They tried to paint like a nice little green candle. Hey, guys, wow, buy this dip. Buy this dip, guys. And then they made another low. So, like I was saying, 715 on the dot should test at least. But now, given this sort of bullish little fake out bounce, this is ridiculous. This is very scarily bearish. We should continue to drop lower here. 715 did touch now. but this fake bounce gives more room to the downside because it makes it difficult for bears. Sorry, it makes it difficult for bulls, right? So bulls just went long. They had stop losses right there at the lows. So now that this just broke even lower, this is a really, really good bearish sign, man. This is a really, really good bearish sign. 714.50 hit as expected. 737 on the SPY. This is it. This is a major spot where you want to take a lot of profit. This is where you want to sell the majority of your position. This was a monster trade. If it starts to bounce now, basically you want to just hold the runners. For 715-ish. As long as you can remain below 715, then we can see the 712, 713. But 715 now, you want to sell a majority of your position here, and you want to see it hold below 715. I want to be careful trying to go long here. Okay? The momentum is still quite clearly bearish. So we want to let it continue to drop if it wants to. As long as it remains below 715, okay? Make sure you guys are out of a majority of your position. This is not where you want to hold heavy. We should be seeing a break above 715.50 normally. 716. I just don't want to really go long here just yet. We normally should be bouncing here. We should be normally bouncing above 715.50. Maybe even 716. Yeah, there's the bounce. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. 'Yeah, that should be a bit of a bottom, but now it's just a matter of whether we can hold above 715.50-ish, and if the SPY can hold above 738. Normally we should be seeing a retest of 716.50. I was just a bit apprehensive of going long. 714.50 needs to hold for this move higher to continue. But this is, yeah, we should be bouncing. This is another decent buying opportunity for a quick scalp up to 750. As long as 715 can hold, we should be seeing 717. So this is essentially a bit of a risky 2-to-1 risk reward ratio to the upside on a bounce here, which normally should happen. And there it is. Quick. That's the freaking issue right now, is that these moves to the upside are happening really, really quickly. Holy shit. Holy crap. What a bounce. What a bounce. That is very, very ridiculous price action, as you guys are seeing here, guys. This is really, really crazy, crazy price action. That's crazy, bro. This is very, very crazy. Crazy, crazy price action, man. Wow. Yeah, whoever caught this long with me, it was very quick, but congratulations on that. I need to go take a quick walk around my house real quick. I will be right back. Holy shit. Um, damn, bro. This is crazy. I'll be right back, guys. I want to continue trading, but I need to remain, this was just a lot of money in a instant. So it's very important to remain calm and not over exuberant, because when you make a lot of money very quickly, you could also lose it very quickly, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'll be right back. Market should pull back here. 722.50 is a major level of resistance. How far we pulled back is the question. SPY is also holding below 743. Be careful of going aggressively short. We're still at the highs. Things can still chop around. We could still make a new high of day. But this sort of weakness is a good sign for a first starter move. Let's see if we can hold below 722.50 and essentially the high of day. If not, then let's see. Mm-hmm. Okay, big bounce. Definitely want to start looking for a short soon. All right. We're going to be looking for shorts soon. I have my eyes on QQQ June 16th, 723 puts. I have my eyes on these. I'm going to enter soon. This is going to be a very light, small position, okay? Momentum is still very bullish. Momentum is still very, very bullish. But it's getting to a point where we just have to take this trade, unfortunately. Let's see. If we could break above high of day, then that would be good. We won't have to take it right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see here. All right, I'm in QQQ 723 puts for June 16th. QQQ 723 puts for June 16th. We need to see the highs hold here. Light trade. Basically, we want to see 724.10, 724.20-ish area hold as a resistance. If we break above that, then I will sell for a small loss. Don't want to hold short into extreme strength, but we're starting to see some weakness and some cracks in the armor. So it makes sense to lean a bit bearish here for a tight trade. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, that's fine as well. But the setup is there. Sell a majority right now. Sell a majority. Contracts are up really nice. Sell a majority of your short. Normally we should be seeing 721.50. But this was a good trade. As long as this remains below 722.80, this should continue to drop lower. We should normally see 721, 721.50, but of course, you know, we had a very, very strong move so far in the morning and just now as well. But that's why we can't marry a short position into extreme strength. So when there's a lot of weakness at first, you sell a majority, you can just keep runner small position. So 722.80 is that level. If we break back above 722.80, then I will sell the entire remaining position. But as you can see, we're holding 722.80 very well. Generally, this support should not really hold on a normal short setup, right? Normally, we don't hold 722 here on the QQQ. We make new lows. This should normally be vomiting much lower. But let's see what happens here, okay? Yeah, out. I am not looking to hold this anymore. This was a big wick. Not sure what's going on right now, but don't want to lose money needlessly. Um, um, the IPO release. I just re-entered short. This is going to be very tight once again. If it breaks above 722.80, this is going to be a really quick short trade. We already made money on the short in the morning. This, you know, I'm just chasing this basically. Very small position. I'll let you know if I sell. But the original sell point, short point where we went short was the safest trade. Big red candle, and now we're still holding 722 support. So yeah, very simple. If we break and close above 722.80, I'm going to sell this one. The setup is still very bearish, which is why I re-entered. So let's see if this rewards us the way that I think it should. The NQ equivalent of the QQQ basically should be seeing 29,630. The QQQ should be seeing 720.50. So there's a lot more room to go lower here. The risk reward was very, very good to go short at the top there. And this should continue to drop. Let's see if 722 can continue to hold. It normally should. But now 742 on the SPY is major, major support. If we can break below 742 here on the SPY, this is going to be a huge move lower. But this will give back a lot of this move to the upside. It will be a very big move lower if 742 on the SPY can break. So let's see. There's 720.50. Let's see how much more room we have. 720.50 is there. We broke below 742 on the SPY. And $721.50 held as resistance. We retested and bounced to 742 on the SPY, and that failed as well. All eyes are still pointed to a move lower here. I'm about to sell my entire short position. I don't like how we're bottoming out. I want to see a quick, sharp drop. If that doesn't happen, then I'm going to most likely sell the remaining position. There's the good sharp drop that I wanted. And now we just continue to hold. Good. Very good. Market is listening. It's being very good. Very nice. We needed the market to drop, and it listened, so that's very good. We're breaking below 720. And now let's see. QQQ below 720. SPY below 742, 741.50. Very good. Okay, I'm out. Contract should be in the 990s, $10. There's a lot more room to go lower. But this was a very big trade. We made a lot of good trades so far this morning. For runner positions for whoever is still holding. Whoever's still holding, 719 is major support. So I might buy longs actually, but yeah, this is just a very, very amazing day. 719.50 should be holding a support. This should be bouncing a bit. We should normally see a bounce to around 721. Whoever wants to hold, this should be bouncing to around 721, at least 720.80. We sold exactly at the bottom. We sold all exactly at the bottom. 1 minute tick low. There's still more room to go lower, but always good to solidify some profit. Market should be bouncing to 721. Don't go short. Don't go short. Even if it drops, this is not the time to start leaning short. A big move to the downside already occurred. Going short here is you're chasing. No reason to chase. Just be very patient and calm. Look for long opportunities now into this weakness. But if this breaks below 719.50, then not looking great. Okay. Yeah, lots of weakness. All right. I'm going to most likely going to call it a day here. Lots of weakness potential still in the market here. SpaceX is trading, so this is a big reason why the market is also pulling back here. Lots of potential room still lower. We're back to yesterday's close here at 717 on the QQQ. SPY is 739, QQQ is 717. As long as 717.50 can hold, then this, even now, it's still showing a lot of bearishness actually, but should normally see 719. The risk reward is favoring the bulls, trying to go longer. Should normally see 719, 719.50. All right, there's 719.20, 719.30, 719.50. Should be seeing 720 now based off of this bounce. There's 720. Wow, okay. I'm gonna call it a day now. This was very fun day. Very, very fun day. 719.50 should continue to hold, and we should see 720.50, 721 here on the QQQ. Should be holding here. Yeah, this is not really a good short. This should bounce above the prior high here, where we tried to go long before. Normally, we should see a break above 721, but let's see. Who knows, man? Gotta know when to step away, also. We made good money. Yeah. If it holds 719, then this should continue to go. Should be good to go. 719 is a very major level here on the QQQ. But it looks like they're going to try to bring it lower. Holding 719. Broke back above 719.50. Not the most bullish scenario here. Market is very 50-50 right now. Market is very, very 50-50. Be very careful about trading too aggressively. And if you made money, then that should be it. Be very, very careful of taking extra trades. All right.